Hi, I'm Yildirim, and today I'll be presenting our paper investigating how practitioners use human AI guidelines, a case study on the People AI Guidebook, on behalf of my co-authors Mahima Pushkarna, Nitesh Goyal, Martin Wattenberg, and Fernanda Viegas. Artificial intelligence brings unique challenges to the design and development of AI products. And in the past few years, human AI interaction guidelines from large technology companies such as Apple, Google, and Microsoft have become available to aid some of these challenges. In this work, we focused on the People AI Guidebook from Google as a case study. Just to give a brief overview, the People AI Guidebook is a set of best practices and examples for designing AI products. It has 4 main sections: the design patterns, chapters, case studies, and a workshop kit. And the design patterns include specific guidelines such as set the right expectations or let users give feedback. And there are 6 chapters, each highlighting specific design considerations. These are user needs and defining success, data collection and evaluation, mental models, explainability and trust, feedback and control, and errors and graceful failure. While many human AI guidelines are available, little is known about if and how these are useful. So in this work, we asked, how do product practitioners use human AI guidelines, specifically the guidebook? How do these help? And what kind of additional resources do practitioners need? So what are their workarounds when guidelines fall short? We conducted interviews with practitioners who use the guidebook in their practice. So we interviewed 31 participants from 23 teams across 14 companies. And when recruiting, we didn't limit participation to any particular role. Instead, we recruited broadly across many roles to see who was using this resource. And we try to have a diverse sample across roles, company sizes, and product areas. We also wanted to balance recruitment within and outside Google. So about half of our participants were from Google. And we asked participants what made them turn to guidelines, how they use the guidance in their practice and in their products, and we probed for remaining challenges. Moving on to the findings, participants often use the guidebook as a means for building a culture around human-centered AI within their teams and organizations. For example, they conducted workshops with cross-functional team members, which helped to sensitize them to AI design considerations and to build the human-centered muscle within the team. The guidebook was also useful for gaining credibility and buy-in when making design recommendations. The guidebook was used as an educational resource to learn about AI. So participants shared that they gained a substantial amount of knowledge in terms of the UX of AI. Several participants gave talks to their teams and organizations using the guidebook content. And there were also teams who used it as a reference when creating internal courses on machine learning and design, which typically targeted product roles such as designers and product managers. A major challenge in AI product development was making sure that AI was solving a real problem. So many participants experienced AI product failures because the AI system wasn't addressing a real human need. A product manager shared that AI was being treated as a technical solution, and there was no thought into what user problem is being solved. And to overcome this challenge, participants used the guidebook's first chapter, User Needs and Defining Success, to push back and reframe problems, repeatedly asking, who is the user and what is the problem we're trying to solve? Participants largely used the guidebook for addressing AI-specific challenges around prototyping, such as explainability, trust, feedback, and control. They heavily referenced design patterns and chapters, and they conducted focused workshops to collectively envision solutions around a specific challenge, such as a design sprint for explainability. Participants observed a positive impact on products, such as increased user adoption and satisfaction, However, they express challenges in measuring and evaluating the impact on user experience. One challenge with the guidebook content was the lack of domain-specific examples. And to compensate for this, participants often collected their own examples and used these to create internal resources and guidelines in the form of playbooks, slide decks, and internal hubs. And many teams created domain and organization-specific resources, such as healthcare AI design guidelines. In this sense, the guidebook served as a benchmark. In terms of needs for additional support, participants shared that the guidelines were almost always focused on problem solving, and there wasn't much help for finding the right problems to solve with AI. So several participants asked for resources for ideation, problem selection, and formulation. Some teams created their own resources for ideation. So similar to prior work, these captured AI capabilities and examples showing how AI can create value. And these resources were helpful for brainstorming AI-enabled product features with cross-functional team members, especially with designers and product managers who don't have a technical background in AI. Moving forward, there's a real need for human AI design resources and guidelines that support learning and education, and that support adaptation and appropriation. We see a great opportunity for HCI research to document human AI design patterns and real-life examples that can provide domain-specific guidance for practitioners. Also, additional research is needed to provide guidance on how to measure and evaluate the impact of guidelines on the product experience. And finally, practitioners need resources that can effectively scaffold ideation and problem formulation with AI. This work was possible thanks to a large team of people at Google and participants within and beyond Google. We are incredibly grateful for their support towards this research. For more information on this work, please see our full paper. Thank you.